podcast and Knowledge Empowers. With you is me, Kat, 안녕하세요. Then we have Baruch.
Hello.
We have Kolac.
Dobre ráno, good morning everyone.
And we are back to our morning faces. So puffed up. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why do we record in the morning?
Because we hate ourselves.
That's the beauty of friendship. There you go. Guys, it was really funny the last time we recorded, and we had a guest. And Kolac did not say a word, which is unbelievable.
Oh, come on, it happens from time to time.
It's not unbelievable.
You know, they say that the silence is gold, so...
Yeah, but I would expect that from Baruch, who is like super introvert compared to you and me. But I would not expect that from you, you know?
I think Kolac is introverted as well.
No.
Yes.
I'm ambivalent, I would say, somewhere in between. When it comes to extroversion, I'm really on the border, I would say. So I'm not really an extrovert, I'm not really an introvert. But if I would say, where do I get the energy? It's more from people than being alone.
Mm-hmm.
And especially I don't see him the way I see you, Baruch. Like you are you are similar to my husband. Mm-hmm. More of like distance. Whereas me and Kolac, we are like, there are people, and me and Kolac would go like, how are you?
Yeah, well, it's because the extroversion and introversion, it's a scale. It's not like you're introvert 100% or you're extrovert. And that's it. But you are somewhere on the line in between. And it's basically how you see yourself, where you fit in. What's your preference?
And for me, it's even like how I slept last night, and it's like
today I don't feel like being with people. Go away.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. Well, I need to go to shop. Hell no. There would be people. Hell no.
You understand me.
Maybe that's why Michael orders everything online now. People.
Best way of shopping.
I like
Guys,
shopping. Yeah, sorry.
Big question. Have you ever heard a word of social responsibilities?
No.
Yes.
So what does it mean for you, Baruch? Social responsibility.
See, it was a trap.
Yes, that's you. We'll still need to explain it. Anyway. Well, social responsibility. I think this is usually used in connection with companies, but I think everybody should have social responsibility, like even individuals. And well, I think mostly like recently it's about like being mindful of actions that you do regarding environment and for example, volunteering and other stuff like this, like being more than a company that is after profit. So having like using that power to influence social groups in a positive way.
As well as attracting new potential employees. I have now numerous people who are searching for jobs. But now I'm talking really about senior people who are above 40, really have years of experiences, and they keep telling me that they don't even get the chance to go on the interview, or if they do get on an interview, the answer they get is that we pick someone else, and then let's say 3 days later, the same position is announced on the market that is open again.
Mm-hmm. And even from the same company?
Same company. And I would ring a bell here as a drink. That somehow companies need to start to be more flexible, because currently the companies, it's not about the company picking a candidate because there aren't candidates. It's more of company needs to search, does this candidate has the skills that I need? Yes, no. If yes, you take it. Doesn't matter of the age of the person. Because the candidates, what they're looking for is not only, okay, am I able to perform the job that, or I want to perform the job I'm applying for, but it's also what else does the company offers and does. Because I don't want just work for a company, I want to be proud of the company as well. And or I want to fulfill my other, how to call them, needs, like fulfill other needs. So in my case, it's the volunteering in the LGBTI community, right? But other people have environment, planet, other type of volunteering. Does the company do it? Will the company allow you to do it? Is it as a part of the culture? How does the company do it? And we see that if the company has a strong social responsibilities and helping other communities, employees are like way more prouder of that company because they can then do that. And we see how much it then influences around surroundings, right? How much it changes even people around you. So that there are now more concepts that a future employee is calculating with to make a decision whether they will go and work for you or not.
So how would you differ this social responsibility from a company's vision, mission, or sort of a good marketing where they care more about the customer than their profit?
I don't say it's distinguished from profit. I'm not a good economist though.
I will tell an example. So I'm now reading a book about This is Marketing from Seth Godin. Sorry.
You will include it in the description.
Yeah, of course. And he's saying that now a good marketing is about it. When you come to a business meeting, you are interested in the dreams and passions and needs of the other person you are there with instead of your own. So when you are selling a product, you're not actually selling the product to the person because it's good for you, because you are earning profit from that, but because it's good for the person and the end result or the product or the service will help the other person. So is that the social responsibility we're talking about? Or it's totally different?
No, it's different. It's like...
It's basically on top, right? Something they don't need to do.
Yeah, you are not obliged to do it by any law, by any rules or commands or orders. But it's something where the company feels like, I'm making money. Fair enough. My employees getting salaries, but I just want to help. So
so it's a byproduct or like by help. It's not like we are doing this as our core job. We are just like what you said, the volunteering part. We're sending people to help somebody, but it's for free.
But so in our case, like in the company where I work, let's take a planet, right? So the products that the company is doing, for example, they looked at all the materials the product is made of, and we're able to change it at 95% is recyclable.
Wow, nice.
And because we produce lots of products, which is heavy on environment, doing 95% of the product recyclable is really helping the environment, right? So every time we even do a product, we look at the point of, would that be heavy on environment? How can we turn it over that we are not creating more
waste?
Thank you. More waste, but really creating a product that if it's time to recycle it, we can actually really recycle it and not making a waste for the planet. It's one example. That's a real example directly in business, in a product making and a profit. In another way, is what our company did, and I'll stay back in the environment, was we looked around, and it's, for example, planting the trees. So it was where now the ERGs came in hand, the diversity groups, and they are in collaboration with other NGOs who are looking after, for example, certain forests, etc. Because it's a nice dream. Okay, let's plant a tree, but there should be some process where you plant the tree, what kind of a tree, because you don't want to make a damage to the environment. And so this way, it was like a certain group of people that really wanted to do it, bought the very specific trees, and then went on a specific place and planted it to save that specific area. Or they were building special houses for bats, right? So they build the houses for bats, and then they went to, again, specific forest area where they put those houses around. And it's something that you do during working hours. It's just like dedicated hours that you do. And yet you feel sort of, you have that need in you that is now fulfilled, which your company allowed to do it during the company working hours, and yet you're helping an environment, right? And if you have that need fulfilled, even your performance then grows, because you feel proud of that company that, wow, they allow me to do this, they fulfill my need, you feel motivated, you put yourself more like then into the work. And sort of, it's like in this perspective, at least in my eyes, it's a good circle. It's not a vicious circle, but a good circle. It fulfills needs of both sides.
I feel, Kolac looks very confused.
Exactly. I keep looking at his face.
Because I am, like on one side, it sounds like the company has value of environment or being environmental friendly. That's why all the products will be recyclable, buildings will be ecological and stuff like that. And then it sounds like volunteering. Like I don't see I don't see like how it is. What's the social responsibility in that? Like the social is about people. So how is planting a tree about the people, or
it's teaching you, like, that really depends on your interests. So, guys, very honestly, I'm not not that I'm not interested in saving the planet, but let's say it would be my interest, right? And I literally don't know anything, let's say, about recycling, as an example. If I would join that specific ERG, that these people are so into it, it's the quickest way for me to learn this type of basics. Why do we recycle? What is the recycling about? How should I do it? When to do it? Blah, blah, blah. And on top, then that group discusses, okay, how can we connect this further company-wise, and let's say even outside of the company. So that group did that. Currently in the building, we have all the recycle bins everywhere that you know what to recycle. We got training how to recycle, what to put there. And then they started to do also, and here comes the social responsibility. So not only you're teaching your own employees what recycling is about, but then the employees that you go home and you tell, in my case, my husband, like, hey, listen, did you know that to recycle means da 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 and this and da da da, and that's how we do it, da da da. But also they started to do education session outside, like at schools to teach them. That's where your social responsibility comes, that you're doing it not on the behalf of any profit, but really you're thinking more of a future and teaching, let's say, young people, what does it mean, or even elderly, what does that mean? That's where your social responsibility comes from, that you just don't keep it for yourself, but you're spreading it. And then your company allows that. And if your company is doing what your need is for, that's how you are then picking also the company. So in my case, as I'm involving the LGBTI plus community, I see how much, at least Bratislava, changed in the past 10 years, that because of the companies we worked at and we received the education and what activism means and how you're supposed to do the activism and how to communicate that and how you're able to help as an ally, the employees spread that information to their friends, to their families. And we see the change in those 10 years, how Bratislava changed in this concept. And you see more people, more same-sex couples holding hands in shopping malls, for example. 10 years ago, it was still big no. But it's because we were able, as an employees who received this education, spread the word more and more. And you are then creating a better social, better human beings, but better social environment. So that's the end of it.
For me, I will quote a popular comic book character. with great power comes great responsibility. Mm-hmm. So I think it applies to companies as well and social mm-hmm. responsibility. So if they have power to educate young people in universities, they should do it. Mm-hmm. Right? If they have power to be more mindful of environment and do anything to improve it, they should do it. So I think now is the time when companies, and especially corporations, should be starting looking into this. But guys, I want to ask you, do you feel like this is something that is already happening as a norm when we look at the companies, or do you still think it's something like a new and trendy and only companies that are, let's say, hip are doing this for their, let's say, improving their image? Have you noticed this often with companies?
I would say that from the American corporations, it's like almost part of their DNA, or it started to be part of their DNA. But I see companies who still don't get that concept. And, mm-hmm. and their focus is only, you just work. And I see companies where people go to work because of good money, but after 2 to 3 years, the rotation of employees is really, the span is usually 2 to 3 years, because they literally squeeze all the energy out of the employees. You just work. But then what for? You have the money when you cannot even spend it. And actually after 3 years, you either end up with burnout or with no energy or with depression. You quit and then you are recovering for 1 year. What's the point? We know we need to work. Mm-hmm. That's how our society is created. You're supposed to go to work, make the money, pay the mortgage, pay the economy, blah, 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 right? You have that circle. But if I'm supposed to spend 8 to 10 hours at work, why not to make it meaningful? Mm-hmm. Not only performing my job, but make it meaningful for me. Fulfill my needs as well. I need to spend here way more hours than just what's in my contract anyhow. So if you make that day fulfill for that employee, not only by performing the job, but fulfilling employees' needs as well, I feel way more empowered. And that's a company I want to work for, because they allow me to be myself, fulfill my own needs as well, not just what I'm supposed to do and be paid for what I'm supposed to do. But I also don't feel that I'm drained by energy, because the whole concept is we work what is it, 50 years we're supposed to work until retirement, which we don't even know if we get that retirement because they keep postponing the retirement. Companies need to look at you not as a span of, this is person that will work for me for 3 years. You need those employees. And we are, 7 billions right now in the world, but we see states, Japan, even Slovakia, we don't have kids, right? So companies need to also change the view. Like, I cannot look at you only, just that you would be here for 3 years. I cannot drain you. You need to look at it. I need to have those people that will be able to work for me at least 10 years.
Would you consider this also as a social responsibility?
Definitely.
This kind of attitude.
Definitely. Because you cannot... Okay, maybe that's when I feel like a mother. What's the point if you drain your employee when then the next day there is no one that would then perform the job? Mm-hmm. Then close down your business. Just close it down. It's no point. Whereas, like, it is the same when I had mothers in my team. So, and mothers, suddenly kindergarten calls you, your child has a high temperature, you need to come and pick it up. And the mother goes like, oh my God, and they start worrying, and then they need to ask for permission to leave earlier, blah, blah, blah. Again, my social responsibility as a manager, I need to look long-term. I don't have kids, meaning who will work on my retirement? Because that's how societies are done. It's not that you are making saving for your, my retirement money are going for those people who are retired right now. That's what they are paid from, right? I need to think if I go to retirement in 25 years or 30 or whatever it is, I need kids. I need generation that will work to pay my retirement. If I don't support the mothers now, who will? It literally, I would go against myself. So if I make her calm and I go, don't you worry, go take your kid, take care of the kids, and then we can figure it out. There are so many other solutions that you can either finish the work in the evening or, you know what, wake up 1 hour earlier, or you know what, for now, it's just one thing only. Let's ask team members whether they're willing to help out and finish that 1 hour of the task, or are you able to redistribute the task, or there are just so many solutions you can apply.
So my probably last question for you guys would be, do you feel like companies in Slovakia have enough of this social responsibility? And if no, or even if yes, in which areas do you feel it's important to have that social responsibility in Slovakia?
I don't know how it's in Kolac, but most of my friends works in foreign corporations. But the small number I have that work in Slovak companies.
You could be working in foreign company, but I mean, social responsibility can be towards Slovakia, Slovakia social groups, let's say.
I think right now it's like they are 10 years behind. Like what we had 10 years ago in our company, and we are already elsewhere. That's where the Slovak companies are at. That they've right now starting to focus what's inside. Mm-hmm. Oh, we should take care of employees. Oh, we should have maybe diversity groups. Oh, maybe we should do this. They're not even there yet. Like, oh, we not only have responsibility making money, but we have responsibility of our surroundings, what's around us. That will come maybe in 10 years, I think.
I will disagree here.
Okay.
I think that our company, I think it's case by case. I've heard CEOs of our employees from all around Slovakia here. Mm-hmm. And some of the actually companies have even their mission or like their own core product based on the social responsibility itself. So it's like we help people to be more able, more capable of doing something. So one of those
are you
is, for
talking
example,
big company or startup companies?
Both,
Okay.
big and small ones. We can talk also about Orange or O2, you know, those are pretty big and they have that, also including Asset, and Asset is purely Slovak company.
Oh, yeah.
So they have this social responsibility. Even Asset was, for example, having now the awards about science. Asset was having contributed to science about the COVID vaccine. So there is a push from Slovak companies as well to somehow be socially responsible. There are companies which, and that's actually what you can see is about being socially responsible when it's about actually educating, for example, kids, the next generation. There are companies who are trying now to connect between the schools and the working environment and having their projects. And now I'm not thinking of Otvorená hra, but of other companies like Bezeo or something like that. Plus, we have a lot of NGOs which are here. So an NGO is an organization and a company sort of as well. So you need to consider those as well. So I think that our mindset is not so far behind, but there are also, I would say, exceptions where the small startups are trying to survive. So they're not really thinking about like social responsibility, like let's make everything better or world better, environment better. But like, okay, I need to earn money because I need to survive. So that's how they do it. Like they need to create a good product. They need to create a good service. The thing is that if they want to create a good service or product, they need to establish it on a need of somebody else. So it's not fully social responsible, like, okay, we are making the world better, but it's already established that it's not like I'm creating nails and whatever, here they are and buy them if you want to, or I don't care. So it's already in some way more elaborated than we think.
Yeah, Asset has, Asset is a Slovak company. Asset has a very good brand. They have very good name. They build up very strong brand from every aspect, not only what they do, how they do it, treatment of employees, what they do outside of the company. Like that's a very good example. But I think that the owners have that in their mind. It's like maybe they've seen it outside, I don't know, but they have it in their mind. Like if we want to be successful, you need to do this. To continue becoming better and better. I was really thinking of, and startups are something that young people are seeking for because startups are already going with this mindset into it. But I was like really thinking of Slovak railway company. Let's take that as an example. Yes, there are trains. Yes, they have to provide services to people to be able to transport, but they are frozen in time. Do you see any advancements? Do you see any?
I think because they don't have a competition, really. That's why.
But it doesn't matter about the competition, you know. It's.
I mean, yes, they could do better, but if they had competition, you would see some progress.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Do you really need a competition to become better? Because if you look at Japan or China, they have these now highway trains, which they call highway trains, right? And
high speed. Yeah.
Or high-speed train. You lived in China, and you know when Chinese New Year comes, that half of the population is start moving to those cities that are like 2,000 kilometers away from each other, and suddenly it's like no possibility to get the tickets, etc. So they want to get better. They don't have to, but they want to. And that's what I was thinking, that these type of companies, they have thousands of employees, but I don't see any change there. They just put more pressure on the employees. Even if we compare with Czech Republic, their train compared to ours. And really the investment, and I think it could get better.
True, and
could be better.
That's the thing I said about the exceptions. I think that there are exceptions when it comes to who could do better. This railway company is one of those. There was or there are a few private companies who are on the railways as well, RegioJet, for example, and they are doing a bit better. I'm not sure how social responsible they are compared to Slovak railway station, but I haven't heard much like when it comes to we are helping planet or something like that from them either. So I'm not sure how comparable is that market actually towards each other.
Guys, now not you two, it's more of the public. How does your company do the social responsibility? Share it with us. Or even what are your needs that you want from your company to be responsible for? And that's the end for today. 수고하셨습니다.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ahojte, pekný deň. Bye-bye.
This podcast represents our own opinions, experience, and our own ideas. We do not represent any official statement from our employers, and this is not their official channel representing the company.